Hi, I'm Madison with the Anaheim Public Library, and today we're going to do our program, Weather and Feathers. We're going to learn how the weather affects birds and their feathers. You can reserve kits for today's program at your local Anaheim branch library. Each kit will come with some feathers. They'll be a little smaller than this one, but they'll be the wing feathers, some soft down feathers, and some sticks to make your very own nest at the end. All animals have unique coats specific to their adaptations and their weather. You have dogs and cats, which have fur, and it's soft and gentle. Then you have fish that have scales so they can glide through the water. And then you have reptiles that also have scales, but so they can absorb heat. And then we're here for feathers though. Feathers are made like this. They are long, and if you pull them apart, you can see that they're actually fibrous. They're like little hairs. You can pull them all back together. They repel water, which is our main topic, but we'll get to that later. They are used for showing off, as you can see from this picture of a macaw. They'll show off to other birds. They're used for insulation, so you'll take these soft, little tiny downy feathers, which are really soft, almost like fur, and they'll use that to pack their nest and keep warm in the cold. And then they'll also be used for camouflage. See how fast you can spot the bird. Different feathers come in different shapes and sizes and colors. This is a crow feather, shorter and black. This is from an Amazon parrot. This is a wing feather. They come in green, red, and blue. Sometimes they have a little bit of yellow on their head too. We have African gray feathers. This is from the tail feathers. If you guys know an African gray, you know they're all gray except for their bright red tails. Then we have the cockatoo. This is from the head of the cockatoo where it lifts up that way to show that they're interested in something. That's why we have that little cone shape at the end. Then we have our common bird feathers. We have a pigeon feather. It's a little bunched at the end. That's what happens when cats hang out with feathers. And we have a dove feather, which is this little tiny white feather. And those are all of my feathers that I have to show you guys. I can show you just how they repel water and insulate their nest in this next activity. Alright, so get your kits ready because now you guys are going to follow along at home. In your kits, you'll have a small feather, an even smaller feather, and hopefully at home you'll have a cup and some water. I'll also be having fur, but we didn't add fur to the kits just in case anybody has some cat allergies. So what you're going to do, I'm going to start off with the fur to show you what it's like when fur gets wet. So I'm going to take my fur, hold it over the water, and dump it. As you can see, if you dip it as well, the fur gets soaked immediately and it loses some of its density, and it's just not comfortable. It doesn't feel nice. It falls apart. It's not very good for water protection. So our cats and dogs at home aren't going to have a lot of repellent to water. Put that off to the side. Now let's look at a feather. This is a wing feather. It's long and thin and soft at the top. When we dump water on that, it repels right off. So it's still perfectly dry. You can even dip it in briefly. It gets a little bit wet, but other than that, it's still solidly a wing feather. Now we can try with our last feather, the soft downy feather, which are used for insulation. This one also repels. Not quite as well. You'll see when you dip it in, it gets kind of soaked, but it also naturally repels water. So our duck friends at home in your nearby lakes and parks, they can sit in water without getting absolutely soaked. So we have one more activity for you guys to do on your own at home. You're going to make your very own nest. So feathers are really important for nests for insulation. Birds will take feathers and just glue them down to their own nest, keep their chicks warm. You can make a 2D version if you want something a little bit simpler, or you can try the little more harder version and make a 3D version. So take your soft feathers, glue them on the inside of your nest when you're all done, and voila, you'll have a nest there to make your own baby birds warm. I'm going to show you guys a couple examples of just how big and small nests can come in. We have hummingbird nests, which are the size of a dime. So if you want to try to make a hummingbird nest, you can use a dime as an example. Or we have an eagle nest, which I don't think you guys will be able to make at home, considering it's big enough for me and you to sit in. In today's demonstration, we learned about feathers and their adaptations to handle the weather in its many forms. You have your own little activities to do at home on your own, build your own nests. Post your creations online and hashtag us at #AnaheimLibrary so we can see the cool nests that you guys have made. For more continued services, you can visit us at anaheim.net/continued services, and stay tuned for more programs to come.